In the heart of the NFL preseason, where dreams are forged and futures are decided, the Cleveland Browns find themselves at the center of one of the most electrifying storylines of the year. A battle is brewing within their quarterback room. A clash between youth and experience, ambition and legacy, promise and proven ability. As the new NFL season approaches, fans and analysts alike are turning their attention to Cleveland, where a high-stakes competition could redefine the team's identity and reshape its fortunes for years to come. For years, the Cleveland Browns have searched for stability at the quarterback position. Now, with the recent NFL draft injecting fresh blood into their roster, that search has taken an intriguing turn. The franchise made waves by selecting two standout quarterbacks, Shedeur and Dillon Gabriel, young talents who are eager to prove themselves on football's biggest stage. Their arrival has stirred up a storm in Cleveland, setting the stage for a quarterback battle that promises drama, intensity, and potentially the rise of a new leader under center. With Deshaun Watson still recovering from injury and his future uncertain, this moment feels pivotal for the Browns. The anticipation is palpable, and the stakes could not be higher. Leading the charge among the newcomers is Shedeur, the son of NFL Hall of Famer Deion Sanders. But make no mistake, Shedeur isn't just riding on his father's legacy. His performance at Jackson State University captured the attention of scouts nationwide. Known for his composure in the pocket, sharp football IQ, and an ability to read defenses with the poise of a veteran, Sanders has shown glimpses of greatness. His ability to deliver accurate throws under pressure and his knack for making smart decisions has already drawn comparisons to some of the league's top-tier quarterbacks. Right beside him is Dillon Gabriel, another name demanding attention. After showcasing his skills at UCF and Oklahoma, Gabriel enters the NFL with a dynamic playing style. Quick on his feet and possessing a lightning-fast release, Gabriel brings a dual-threat capability that can keep defenses guessing. His mobility, combined with an aggressive approach to attacking downfield, makes him a perfect fit for modern offensive systems. Both Sanders and Gabriel are hungry for an opportunity, aware that this preseason could define the trajectory of their professional careers. The sense of competition between them is fierce, but it's also fueling an atmosphere of growth and excitement within the Browns' locker room. But these young quarterbacks aren't the only ones vying for the spotlight. Standing in their path are seasoned veterans Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett. Flacco, a Super Bowl MVP, brings with him a wealth of experience and a calmness in high-pressure situations that few quarterbacks in the league can match. His ability to manage the game, make critical throws, and mentor younger players makes him an invaluable asset, especially during a transitional phase like this. Then there's Kenny Pickett, a player who, despite a rocky start in the NFL, has shown flashes of brilliance. Pickett's familiarity with the speed and physicality of professional football gives him a noticeable edge. He knows the demands of the league and has tasted both success and setbacks. While he may not have reached his full potential yet, the competition brewing within the Browns' quarterback room could be the catalyst he needs to elevate his game. The battle lines have been drawn, and each of these quarterbacks brings something unique to the table. Now all eyes turn to head coach Kevin Stefanski. Tasked with the critical decision of selecting the Browns' starting quarterback, Stefanski faces one of the most challenging dilemmas of his career. Does he lean on the reliability and knowledge of his veteran quarterbacks, or does he take a bold gamble on the promise of youth? Analysts remain divided, with some believing the time is right for a changing of the guard, while others argue that the Browns need a steady, experienced hand to guide them through a tough season. For Stefanski, it's about finding the perfect balance, nurturing the potential of Sanders and Gabriel while ensuring the team remains competitive. The decision will not only shape the team's offensive strategy, but also set the tone for the locker room's culture. A wrong move could lead to unrest and missed opportunities, while the right choice might just ignite a new era of Browns football. As preseason camps open and the first snaps of training camp are taken, the atmosphere around the Cleveland Browns feels charged with possibility. The quarterback competition is more than just a battle for the starting job. It's a symbol of a team in transition, of a franchise eager to rise from mediocrity and finally establish itself as a contender. The presence of young, ambitious quarterbacks challenging seasoned veterans adds a layer of excitement and unpredictability. No matter who ultimately earns the starting role, one thing is certain: this quarterback battle will shape the team's identity for the foreseeable future. It's a narrative that mirrors the broader evolution of the NFL, where every new generation steps forward, eager to leave their mark and rewrite the record books. For fans in Cleveland and beyond, this is a storyline worth following closely. So as we count down the days to kickoff, keep a close watch on Cleveland. Because in this high-stakes drama of youth versus experience, ambition versus legacy, and risk versus reliability, anything can happen. Whether it's Shedeur Sanders, Dillon Gabriel, Joe Flacco, or Kenny Pickett, taking that first snap of the season, the journey leading up to that moment will be filled with intrigue, emotion, and unforgettable moments. Stay tuned, because the Browns quarterback saga is just getting started. The Cleveland Browns quarterback room is one of the most crowded and intriguing stories in the NFL right now, and as training camp inches closer, the battle for the starting job is heating up in ways few could have predicted. With 5 quarterbacks currently on the roster and only a limited number of spots available by the time the regular season kicks off, fans and analysts alike are left speculating about who will rise, who will fall, and who might not even make it out of the preseason with a roster spot. This offseason, the Browns made waves by dramatically overhauling their quarterback lineup. They drafted 2 highly talked-about prospects, Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, signaling a clear commitment to youth and the future. In addition, they brought in the experienced Joe Flacco as a free agent, a veteran presence with the kind of locker room leadership and game management skills that can steady a team in transition. On top of that, Cleveland pulled off a trade to acquire former Pittsburgh Steelers starter Kenny Pickett, a move that raised eyebrows across the league. And then there's Deshaun Watson, still under contract, but with expectations being that he won't take the field next season due to ongoing rehabilitation and off-field concerns. The situation presents an obvious problem. 5 quarterbacks is simply too many for any NFL team to carry into the regular season. Teams usually roll with 3, sometimes 2, and maybe 1 more on the practice squad, which means someone will inevitably be the odd man out, and as of now, the spotlight is firmly on Kenny Pickett. Recently, Cleveland NFL analyst Nick Padone shared his take on the situation during an appearance on 92.3 The Fan, and his words have since sparked even more debate. Padone pointed out the awkward fit that Pickett represents within this crowded quarterback room. While he acknowledged that he's not entirely giving up on Pickett as an NFL player, he expressed serious doubts about how the 27-year-old quarterback fits into the Browns' current and future plans. Padone's prediction is that Joe Flacco, thanks to his extensive league experience and proven ability to manage games, will begin the season as Cleveland's starting quarterback. The long-term goal, however, is clear. The Browns are hoping that either Shedeur Sanders or Dillon Gabriel will develop into the franchise quarterback they've been searching for. In Padone's eyes, whichever rookie shows the most promise during training camp and the preseason will step up as the primary backup, ready to take over when the time comes to pass the torch from Flacco. And that leaves Kenny Pickett in a tough spot. Unlike Sanders and Gabriel, who are prized draft picks with untapped potential, and unlike Flacco, who brings invaluable veteran experience, Pickett seems to exist in a sort of no-man's land within the Browns' depth chart. He's not a rookie prospect the franchise is eager to develop, nor is he a seasoned leader capable of mentoring the young quarterbacks. While some, including Padone, believe head coach Kevin Stefanski might be able to salvage Pickett's career and mold him into a reliable game manager, the chances of that happening within the current circumstances feel slim. Pickett does have a path to altering the narrative, though. An exceptionally strong showing in training camp and during preseason games could force the Browns coaching staff to reconsider his value to the team. But even then, it's a tough climb. The organization is heavily invested in Sanders and Gabriel, and unless injuries or shocking underperformance occur, those 2 are expected to remain firmly in the team's plans moving forward. The Browns' quarterback situation is undoubtedly going to fuel endless speculation, trade rumors, and heated debates among fans and analysts throughout the remainder of the offseason. Every day of training camp and every preseason snap will carry extra weight for these quarterbacks as they fight to carve out their place on the roster. But as of now, according to Nick Padone and a growing chorus of voices, Kenny Pickett's spot on this team appears to be the most at risk. So, what happens next? Will Pickett rise to the occasion and force his way into the quarterback conversation, or will the Browns cut ties and move on before the regular season kicks off? One thing's for certain, this quarterback battle is just getting started, and the outcome could shape the direction of the Cleveland Browns for years to come. In the ever-evolving world of the NFL, where seasoned veterans often dominate the headlines and the locker rooms, the Cleveland Browns are witnessing an electrifying shift that has captured the attention of fans and analysts alike. As training camp looms on the horizon, an intense battle is brewing for one of football's most coveted and scrutinized positions, the starting quarterback job. What makes this particular showdown so captivating is the infusion of young, dynamic talent in the form of Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel, both of whom were added to the Browns roster through this year's NFL Draft. Their arrival has not only injected fresh energy into the team, but also set the stage for a dramatic confrontation with experienced veterans like Joe Flacco, a former Super Bowl MVP, and Kenny Pickett, a rising NFL signal caller with plenty to prove. With Deshaun Watson sidelined and focusing on his rehabilitation, the QB1 position in Cleveland has transformed into one of the league's most closely watched and intriguing storylines heading into the new season. Shedeur Sanders enters this battle carrying more than just his skill set. He carries a legendary last name. As the son of Hall of Famer Deion Sanders, expectations are sky high, but Shedeur has shown that he's more than capable of stepping out of his father's shadow. At Jackson State University, he dazzled with his poise in the pocket, his sharp reads of opposing defenses, and a coolness under pressure that belies his youth. Those qualities have made him a fan favorite and a hot topic in draft discussions for months leading up to his selection. Opposite him stands Dillon Gabriel, a quarterback who built his reputation with standout performances at UCF and Oklahoma. Known for his quick release, agile footwork, and fearless approach, Gabriel brings a different but equally dangerous skill set to the table. Both young quarterbacks are hungry, driven, and eager to prove they belong at the helm of an NFL offense, and the buzz surrounding their performances in practice has only intensified the competition within the Browns locker room. Of course, it wouldn't be a true quarterback battle without the presence of seasoned veterans, and the Browns have no shortage of experience in their quarterback room. Joe Flacco, a player whose name is etched in NFL history thanks to his Super Bowl winning run with the Baltimore Ravens, remains a steady and reliable presence. His deep understanding of the game, ability to remain calm in high-pressure situations, and leadership qualities provide a valuable resource for the younger players while also keeping him firmly in the running for the starting job. Kenny Pickett, meanwhile, brings youthful energy combined with NFL experience, having shown flashes of promise during his time on the field. While still developing his game, Pickett's comfort with the NFL's speed and complexity positions him as a serious contender to claim the starting role this season. However, the arrival of Sanders and Gabriel has added a new edge to the competition, forcing everyone in the quarterback room to elevate their performance. At the center of this high-stakes decision stands head coach Kevin Stefanski, tasked with evaluating not just physical skills and stats, but also leadership, composure, and locker room chemistry. Stefanski faces one of the most difficult challenges of his coaching career. The NFL is a league that rarely offers second chances, and the choice he makes will not only shape the Browns' offensive strategy, but also potentially determine the trajectory of the franchise over the next several seasons. Analysts and fans alike are divided. Some believe that the bold move would be to hand the reins to one of the young guns, ushering in a new era of Cleveland Browns football, while others argue that leaning on the experience of Flacco or Pickett provides the safest and most stable path forward. Stefanski's ability to manage this dilemma, to find the right balance between nurturing youthful potential and capitalizing on veteran wisdom, will be a defining test of his leadership. As the Browns prepare to embark on a new season, the quarterback competition represents far more than just a fight for a starting job. It symbolizes the evolving nature of the NFL, where the next generation is ready and eager to step up, and where the lines between past and future blur on the practice fields and under the stadium lights. The journeys of Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel are part of a larger story about resilience, opportunity, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. Their presence in Cleveland signals a fresh start, one filled with promise, excitement, and the potential to rewrite the narrative for a franchise long in search of sustained success. For Browns fans, this quarterback battle isn't just about statistics or win-loss records, it's about hope. It's about the thrill of watching young talent clash with seasoned pros, about witnessing the birth of new legends and perhaps the final chapter for others. The anticipation surrounding this competition is palpable, and as each practice, each preseason game, and each press conference unfolds, the stakes grow higher. One thing is for certain, when the dust finally settles and the season kicks off, the Cleveland Browns will look very different than they did a year ago. Whether it's Shedeur Sanders, Dillon Gabriel, Joe Flacco, or Kenny Pickett taking that first snap under center, this battle is already one for the history books, and it's a story that fans won't soon forget. In the world of professional sports, making headlines is part of the job, but not all attention is good attention. Cleveland Browns rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders has recently found himself under a harsh spotlight, and this time it's got nothing to do with touchdowns or training camp battles. It's about flashing blue lights, speeding tickets, and a growing controversy that could cast a shadow over his promising NFL career. It all started earlier this month when Shedeur Sanders, the highly touted former Colorado Buffaloes quarterback and son of NFL legend Deion Sanders, was clocked driving a staggering 91 miles per hour in a 65 zone in Brunswick Hills, Ohio. That was on June 5th. But instead of slowing down and laying low, things escalated just days later. On June 17th, Shedeur was stopped once again, this time in Strongsville, for driving a shocking 41 miles per hour over the posted limit of 60. If that wasn't enough, he compounded the issue by failing to appear in court for either of the two infractions. The situation has stirred plenty of controversy, not just among Cleveland Browns fans, but across the NFL community. With an intense quarterback competition brewing in Cleveland and veterans like Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and fellow rookie Dillon Gabriel all fighting for the QB1 spot, Shedeur's off-field issues risk becoming a serious distraction. More importantly, they raise questions about his discipline and decision-making, crucial qualities for any leader on the field. Interestingly, this isn't the first time a high-profile athlete has found themselves in hot water over reckless driving. NFL Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe recently shared a story from his own playing days that echoed Shedeur's current troubles. Back in his third season in the league, Sharpe was pulled over for driving 108 miles per hour in a 60 zone. And if you think one ticket was bad, 10 minutes later, he was caught again doing 92 miles per hour. Sharpe confessed to having what he called a lead foot, acknowledging that for young athletes with fame, fast cars, and adrenaline, it's a dangerous combination. Adding to the list of similar tales was NBA star Joe Johnson, who recalled a wild night in Atlanta. He and his teammates Jeff Teague and Josh Smith were racing down the freeway at over 100 miles per hour. When the police finally caught up, only Johnson was pulled over. Fortunately for him, the officer recognized him and let him off with a warning. Johnson admitted he was lucky and grateful for the grace shown to him that night. But both Sharpe and Johnson agreed on one thing. Neither of them carried the kind of weight that comes with the Sanders name, nor did they have to navigate a quarterback competition with three other candidates in one of the NFL's most scrutinized positions. That's the tough reality for Shedeur Sanders right now. Every move he makes, both on and off the field, is under a microscope. With Browns fans eager for a winning season and head coach Kevin Stefanski under pressure to deliver results, Shedeur's recent missteps could cost him more than just fines. In a position where leadership, focus, and maturity are non-negotiable, these incidents risk setting him back in the depth chart. The question now is whether Shedeur can learn from these mistakes, regain the trust of his coaches and teammates, and stay focused on the one thing that really matters: earning that QB1 spot and letting his performance, not controversy, do the talking. So what do you think? Can Shedeur Sanders bounce back from these off-field blunders and rise to the challenge in Cleveland? Or has he jeopardized his chance at leading an NFL franchise before even throwing a pass in a regular season game? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more NFL updates and stories you won't find anywhere else.